Hello, am I audible and visible? Vikas? Okay, great. Good evening. So, myself, Shubhi Bansal. I am a Prime Minister's Research Fellow and a PhD scholar at Indian Institute of Technology, Indore, and your TA for the course Systems and Usable Security. So, today we'll be taking live session 4 on solving some problems related to the concepts that you have studied throughout the week. So let's wait for 5 minutes for others to join, then we'll begin. Okay? We'll just wait for 5 minutes. If others are joining, fine, else we'll start. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can ask from the previous assignments or any other. We'll begin shortly in 5 minutes. Let others also join. Hello, students. Am I audible and visible? Okay, then let's begin. Great. I'll share my screen and we can start solving the problems. So today's live session 4 on systems and usable security course taken by instructor Dr. Neminath. So let us go ahead for the with the problems. So please give it a try and I will discuss the solution with you. And put your answers in the chat box once you think a certain answer is correct. Also, these can be single option correct or multiple option correct. So please be very careful in answering. So once you have attempted, I will discuss. Please put your answers in the chat box. Kitna, I would like you also to answer. Then I will discuss. So I don't know if I have turned the mic on. Okay, great, it's already on. Just a second. I will discuss. You both have marked the correct option. The answer is option D only. So let us discuss why. So the correct answer is option D. Why? Usability, it can be thought of anything related to the end user issue. You can think of it like an issue. The design, user interface, obviously, how the user is going to use a certain product, as we can get it from the name itself. Usability, how what is the ability of its usage by a given user. Design, user interface, as well as if the design interface is quick, easy and simple to learn, then it also affects how quickly the user can learn it. That's why the answer will be all of the remaining, that means all of the above options. So I hope it is clear. Simple definition of usability, how it is everything that is related to the end user, not only in terms of its user interface but also its design, how easy the design is, how easy it is to learn and implement, and simple to be adopted by other users. So this is one thing. So moving on to the next question, give this also a try. So web application uses password based authentication, which has to be changed every 15 days, and it will log the account once there are 25 failed login attempts. So it is allowing the users to reuse the password except the most recent password. So this is like if you remember that technique in operating system also is there, na, most recently used. So let's say I was having 10 passwords, p1, p2, p3 up till p10. So as if I am if in my previous attempt I use p10, then that is my most recent password. I cannot reuse it in the next attempt, in the immediate next attempt. Let's say this was your for your second attempt, so in my third attempt I can't keep the password again as p10. However, I can use the passwords from p1 to p9. So based on this, you have to tell which of the following options is correct about this scheme: whether users can manage with two passwords by recycling, or they need at least three passwords, or they require to reuse the password every 15 days, or none of the above. So give it a try, and your reason should be very logical why you've selected a particular option or options. Again, I'm saying you have to yourself figure it out whether it should be single option correct or multiple option correct. Give it a try, both of you. So both have marked the correct option. It is correct that they can manage with two passwords by recycling. So, Kirtana, would you tell why you thought of this particular answer?
Yeah, so basically, we need to change password for every 15 days, right? And at the same time, we can't use the same most recent password. So minimum, the users need to have two passwords by recycling so that it will be sufficient.
Yes. Even only two will do. There is no need of three passwords. Correct. Because do you have the same reasoning, or do you have a different perspective? Would you like to share?
Same reason.
Okay, okay.
Same reason.
Okay, good. Then shall we move to the next question?
Yes.
Okay, great. Please attempt. Which of the following option is correct about the graphical password? So graphical passwords is, you can think of like images will be there or some captcha will be there, kind of that. So as opposed to the text-based passwords or pin-based passwords, whether they are better or no better, or usable, less usable or more usable. So that you have to tell and why. Your logic should be very reasonable. I mean, there should be a valid logic. Don't take it or correct mark the correct option without thinking. Please be very logical. So both of you again have marked the correct option. That is option C, graphical passwords. They are better to text-based passwords from the usability perspective. So why so? Because graphical passwords, they mostly feature the images and some GIFs. That is, they are easy to remember and memorize, recognized by the user rather than the text based passwords. And also it is claimed that visual information has a larger impact on the human brain, as humans are mostly the visual creatures, so they can remember the images better as compared to the text in the form of alphabets, letters, or digits, or special characters. That's why, from the usability perspective, from the end user perspective, why we say they are better, because then the user can easily remember or recall what images or GIFs they had seen previously as opposed to text. Is the explanation clear to both of you? So, Vikas, what was your logic here?
The same thing, it's easy to remember graphical things rather than textual information.
Yes, yes, correct. So let's go ahead with the next question. So system is using passwords of length 2, so that these are easy to remember. And let's say they are all obviously they should be usable. Now let's assume that the passwords are made of the alphabet set from A, B, C, D. So which of the following statements is correct? How many total number of passwords we should have, and whether the system is usable or not? What is the definition of usability? What does usability refer to here? That you have to think and tell. And it is using passwords of length 2. Whether they should be 16 or 8 or 4 or 32. How many combinations we will get using 4 letters and 2 places. Places means seats. That is the length of the password. Please attempt it carefully. Only one option is correct here. So what is the correct option according to you?
A.
Okay. Kirtana, what is your opinion?
Kitna has left.
Already left.
Yeah.
Why?
She's busy with some other woman in conclave meeting.
So you both are from the same college?
Yeah, I'm her faculty.
Okay. Okay, then I will discuss what whom to wait for then. Okay, no issues. So, see, the system is having passwords of length 2, right? And we have just 4 characters A, B, C, and D. That is, the set ka cardinality is 4. Out of these 4 letters, one of them will occupy the first place, and it is not said that this should be with replacement or without replacement. Then in the second place also, I can have another any of the 4 letters. So total combinations, how many I am having? That is 4 into 4. That is 16. And why is it easy to break? Why the system is not usable? Why? Because it is easy to break these passwords. Only I have to guess out of the 16 combinations, I'll put manually even. It will hardly take me 10 minutes. It will hardly take me 5 minutes to break the password of this system. So how we are saying 16 passwords? Let's say in the first place I fixed A. Then at the second place, what all can come? A, B, C, D. So for one character, 4 combinations are there. That is A, B, A, C, A, D. Similarly, for character B, it can be it can be B, A, B, 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 C, and B, D. So similarly, I can say for other two also, I will have like these four combinations. So 4 into 4, 16 combinations will be there, and then because the password length is too short, and these are just the alphabets out of which I can guess these combinations by putting manually even. So the system, it is very easy to break. There is no security for the end user, as anyone can enter, and if he knows that the passwords are made of this alphabet set, he'll put them manually and then break the system's password. So that's why there is this check is there when we are creating an account in some website, that the correct password length should be 8, or special character should be there, uppercase, lowercase digits. So all that checks are made to ensure that the system still remains usable from the end user perspective in terms of security. So is it clear, Vikas?
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the next question. Which of the following can't be used as biometric data for user authentication? So would you like to explain why?
DNA is not considered as biometric data.
Why?
DNA has nothing to do with biometric details, right? And a user cannot get one's DNA easily.
Yeah, and also the other explanation could be that when we are authenticating the biometrics of a user, then we need some kind of hardware, right? When let's say we are doing the face recognition, you need to place the camera in front of the face. So that camera is a kind of hardware, right? Fingerprint and iris. You have to, like, when we are doing the fingerprint authentication, so we have to press on that certain system lock, right? Where you place the thumb or the finger so that it gets authenticated. Similarly, for the voice data, when you're speaking, so you have to speak into the mic. There are mics, although you can't see in your mobile device, but there are mics. Certain chips are there that process your voice and then transmit it into the signals so that computer can understand. So is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, then let's go ahead to the next question. So, which of the following does not compromise the user security? That is, user security or privacy is not violated in which of the cases, and why?
D.
Hmm?
D.
Yeah, correct. Correct. Why? Because the main role of
The
the
last
denial
one
of
is
service.
related to availability.
Sorry.
The last one is related to availability, not with respect to privacy.
Yeah, correct. That you also can say. Why? Because it tends to occupy the entire bandwidth that is available to serve the request of the user or several clients that are coming to the server. What it will do, it will send such a large number of packets that the entire bandwidth that is available at the server, it is occupied. Now server is left with no memory that is available to serve the requests of the incoming clients, the incoming requests of other clients. So that's why it is not violating the privacy, it is only violating the availability, as you correctly said. Availability of bandwidth and memory, that is, in short, you could say the availability of the resources. Okay.
Yes.
Malware attack, we know it installs a virus on the it attacks the devices and the computers, which will give access to the attacker sitting in the remote places. Sniffing attack, it allows the attacker that they can read the data. And social engineering attack, they install the spywares, so that once the spyware is installed without your knowledge, the entire data is being transmitted to the attacker by getting to know their historical information of browsing and all. So, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, then let's go to the next question. So, a corporate does the MITM analysis and it screens the network traffic to check if any sensitive information is there. So, we have to pick the correct statement from the following. What is MITM?
Man in the middle attack.
Yes. So, give it a try. What could be the possible options?
B.
Hmm?
B. Option B.
Yes. Also, like it was kind of mentioned in the question itself that it is preventing the leakage, it because it is checking, right, whether the sensitive information is being leaked or not. So hence the answer is hidden in the question statement itself, is it?
Yes.
Do you have a different perspective you can share?
No, nothing.
Okay, then let's go to the next question. So, which of the following is not the correct assumption why users ignore the security warnings? Though the system will warn them that so and so precautions you should take, but the users tend to ignore. Why? It's like a very general question. No such logic is there for this.
C.
Hmm. The correct answer is option D. They assume that the advices are scary, so they tend not to follow it, not even look at it. C can also be a valid one, can be a valid one. They do not understand the benefits.
No, I think we are saying not the correct assumption, right?
Okay, okay, not the correct assumption. Okay, yes.
So,
Yeah,
is it
right.
A? Is it A which we have to go with?
No, no, the answer is still D.
Okay, okay.
Advices, they think they are scary, but actually they are not. They are
Yeah.
just telling you to be cautious of a certain thing. But seeing that whole paragraph or the entire statement, it seems that it seems like it is scary, but actually it is not. Right?
Yes.
That is the reason. Because they often ask you to accept the license agreement, right? So without even reading, users will say, okay, I agree, because there is no choice to proceed further. So we cannot say that the advices are scary. That's why they ignore the security warnings. So shall we move ahead?
Yes.
So, okay.
B.
Yeah. Why?
It's like always, Alexa, we feel like it's sniffing our data.
Why you feel like that?
Always tries to keep an eye on what we are speaking, right?
Yeah, it keeps a log of whatever you have spoken, and it's your voice kind of acts as an authentication. It tries to learn what is the pitch, what is the frequency, right?
Yes.
So, using that data, it is trying to access your confidential records as well as what kind of tone the person is using when he is having a certain issue. So it's not just the breach of the biometrics in terms of voice, but also in terms of behavioral aspects of the human, right? It is trying to understand or
Yes.
analyze what is the tone, what is your emotion through that voice, what is the historical records as to which, if you were in a certain situation, how you responded or what kind of questions you asked. Is it the valid reason? Because
Yes.
okay, then let's go ahead with the next question. Probably the last one.
Is it A?
Give it an attempt again.
If A is not correct, then D.
Then
D, last
D,
one.
yes, D is the correct option. Because the mobile application is trying to access all of these, no? Location already it wants to know, it wants to show you what place are you in, what are nearby places you can visit, right? Contact list it already has. It need not even collect it. That is already it is having the collection. It is a in fact it is the storehouse of it, right? And face recognition based unlocking, this is like recording your biometrics, breach of privacy in terms of authentication, right?
Yes, yes.
So hence option D is the correct answer. So I'm done with the questions for today. Do you have any doubts?
No.
So what do we discuss other than this? Were you able to attempt the assignment for week 4?
Yeah, I could.
So do you want to discuss any question in that,
No, they were fine. Like the things were clear.
or any other previous question you would like to discuss, or any commands in Ubuntu or anything?
Nothing. They were fine.
So what do we discuss? It's like still 1 hour 20 minutes are still there.
Yeah. So the pattern of the questions will be multiple choice only, right? For
Yes,
final.
I think so. Mostly it will be MCQ based only, and they will be single option correct or multiple option correct, like as we have been seeing in the assignments and in the live sessions. So, like
Okay.
it could be like the numericals are there, or very subjective kind of questions are there, but they'll be put in the objective format only, right? If
Yeah.
you remember the first assignment or the first live session that I took, it was there were some numerical questions, but still the options will be made available for them.
Yes.
Yeah. So mostly it will be objective type. Else you can once write to the NPTEL team for the confirmation. 90% it will be objective. But it can be the case it's either single option correct or multiple option correct, that you have to figure out yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other doubt?
No, nothing.
Okay, then what to discuss? I don't know, like if you have any doubts, you can please ask.
No, nothing with respect to the subject. Anyway.
So any command related with Ubuntu or any previous or current doubts if you have. Today's assignment was very easy, I guess. Even the video lectures were quite easy.
Yeah.
I think there were hardly 3 videos in this series, right?
Two.
2.
Yes.
Not much was there.
Yeah. And do you work with NS3?
NS3, no.
Okay.
Actually, my areas are a bit different. I am not from the security domain, though I am taking the course on it.
Okay.
I work primarily in the areas of artificial intelligence, deep learning, natural language processing, text classification, and all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this course was allotted by the NPTEL team. So
Okay.
mostly, they work with the Wireshark tools, right? Wireshark, Snort
You mean for security?
for security. Yes, Wireshark and Snort.
Yeah, basically we do work with Kali Linux, wherein we have a lot of tools in that.
Yeah, yeah. So what all tools you use?
Within Kali Linux, one is Burp Suite, wherein we can see if there is any security related issue with a website. And to see open ports, we do check Nmap,
Okay.
and we have things like Portsfigure, wherein we have a lot of laboratory works which give some knowledge on how we can do come up with security for social engineering attacks, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I basically work for this one, like I'm trying to look at behavioral analytics. with respect to mobile devices,
Okay.
especially with 5G I'm working with.
Acha. So, do you develop any protocols or something? IT-based protocols?
Right now, not with respect to the protocols, but with respect to like I also fall into the area of this one ML and deep learning,
Mm-hmm.
wherein I try to develop some algorithms to come up with detection of different attacks.
Okay. So, may I know, like, what is your approach or thinking procedure behind that?
Like basically, whatever the security subjects or cryptography subjects which we study or read, they are completely based on like providing security to computers or computer networks and the data which we transmit between these things. But
Mm-hmm.
as we move towards IoT domain, things are going to be very difficult because when I consider small, tiny sensor, I cannot place these kind of complex security algorithms. And nowadays, most of these IoT devices are like many of the devices are getting connected with internet,
Yes.
and providing security will be crucial, especially with when we move towards 5G.
Mm-hmm.
So I am looking into providing security for 5G private networks.
So, which kind of algorithms are you using? Any machine learning based algorithms for that?
As of now, I am looking at collecting the data of various attacks.
So that data for that data analysis you will use ML based techniques, but for security you will be developing any algorithms or protocols, right?
Um, Protocols are existing, but the thing is, we need to detect attacks. That is the basic thing.
Okay.
So, rather than protecting, detection is also very important. So, we are looking forward for detection of these things.
So do you also look into the adversarial attacks?
Not exactly. I'm concentrating on attacks with respect to the radio network in telecommunication.
Okay, radio network. How?
No, especially from user side to the base station, what are the attacks we are going to have, and then especially let us say when we move towards autonomous vehicles or remote surgeries, we might be communicating with a lot of apps. So when apps are communicating with another app, so who is going to provide security? So these are some of the issues which we have. So trying to look at these things.
Mhm. Okay, nice. So by far, have you developed any or detected any new kind of attacks or built any new security mechanisms?
We actually proposed like one architecture using which we can try to detect these things, attacks like that, and we published that one in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and still we are looking at more attacks. We have done with respect to bidding down attack.
Which attack? Could you please repeat the name?
It's bidding down attack in telecom, wherein what happens is, especially if I am eligible to receive 5G network, suddenly it happens like there will be an attacker who tries to degrade the capabilities of my device, and I'll be receiving the quality of service with respect to, let us say, 2G or 3G
Mm-hmm.
rather than receiving 5G. So that is called as bidding down attack.
Okay. So
And
you will
recently,
compromise with the quality of the service, right?
no, we are not compromising. The attacker will, like, basically, there will be some messages which are being exchanged between user and base station frequently, which indicates what are my capabilities. Suddenly, attacker comes in the middle and he tries to change the capabilities. So, base station thinks like I don't have the capability to receive 5G network, and it provides us a 2G network instead of getting 5G. But actually, I am eligible to receive 5G and I have the capabilities. So that's considered to be beating down attack. And recently, as part of Smart India Hackathon, we developed a solution for caller ID spoofing detection.
Okay.
That is another thing. And, we are looking at DOS attacks also.
Okay, so you are a professor in which college? May I know?
It's G. Narayanamma Institute of Technology and Science from Hyderabad.
Okay. G
And I'm,
Narayanamma.
yeah, GNITS, we call it as GNITS.
G90s. Okay.
Yeah. And my PhD is from Amrita University, Kerala.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you pursued it back in?
I didn't get you.
You pursued in which year?
Which one?
PhD, PhD.
I started in 2020. I completed masters in 2013, and from then I have been teaching here,
Mhm.
and I'm doing part-time PhD.
So you're still doing or completed?
Doing.
Doing.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. So part-time you are doing from
yeah,
Amrita.
part-time I'm doing.
So it's a distance-based course or like visit once in 3 months like that?
Actually, for coursework, we were supposed to go there, but because of Corona time, it happened like
Hmm.
coursework done online itself.
Then now the research is going on.
Yeah, and my guide he stays in US actually.
Then again it is
Sorry,
online.
UK. So obviously, we'll be communicating through online itself.
Mm-hmm. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. I actually sent a connection in LinkedIn to your
To
account.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm not aware of the name. Did I accept or not?
I don't think.
Because maybe the name wasn't familiar, so. But now I will definitely.
Let me check. Yeah, it's pending.
It's pending, yeah,
it's
because maybe I
it's
was not
should
familiar
be
with the
B,
name.
right?
Huh?
Your profile is should be B, PMRF IIT Indore.
Yeah, yeah, that
Technology.
only. That one only.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe because I wasn't familiar with the name, no?
Hmm.
That's why.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like there, it's like the usual thing that lots of requests keep on coming. So
Yes, yes.
yeah,
So you are working with respect to which application?
I work in the social network analysis domain.
Okay, okay.
And then our task is to classify the text that is coming, like as you know, like lots of content is being generated on social media every day, like every minute, every hour. So
Yeah.
ours is to like how we can effectively retrieve the data, how quickly create new label data sets, identify whether it's fake or real, how abusive or not,
Mhm.
hateful or not, that way mostly it's text classification.
Okay.
Also we are trying to look into some approaches for, you know, image based recognition, speech processing, video processing, and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, so far, till what point you have reached?
I mean, could you please elaborate on your question? I would like to know what point you are asking.
No, with respect to your PhD,
Huh.
so far you have reached what point?
So you are asking in terms of papers or the number of years?
Number of years, I think I saw like you started in 2020, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, like coursework and all, there will be different stages, right?
Yeah, coursework is done, and also now I'm primary like 100% focused on the research, doing research, like identifying the gaps and then building models, how we can address those issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, and what do you think? Like, we have this chat GPT, right? How far
Yes.
it will be, like, whether it will be benefit for researchers or will it be disadvantage?
Definitely, as you know, everything has its pros and cons. Many ways it is being beneficial. Also, like as you saw, like it can, you give it some sentences, it can create a research paper of its own. It can also list itself as one of the potential authors. You give the earlier what used to happen, you give the image, it will generate the caption. Now you just give the text, it will generate hundreds of images. So definitely it's a plus, but also you can't 100% rely upon it, because it depends on how you are training it, or on what application area you are applying. So in that phases it's kind of, a little at a disadvantage side.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And for your analysis,
Mhm.
basically you are working with social networking, right?
Mhm.
So how do you collect the data, required data?
So we create it on our own mostly. If there are publicly available data sets in the domain that we want to work in, like let's say you have two to three, but let's say I am trying to solve some newer kind of problem in that area, and the data set is not available, then we do web scraping, either from Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, like that, YouTube. We do our own web scraping, create the data set, and then we perform the experiments.
Okay, and with respect to mathematical modeling, if you have to do,
Mhm.
so do you go with performance analysis or anything else you will be looking at?
Mathematical formulation, as in you are asking in terms of performance measures, right? Accuracy and stuff.
No, for example, whatever the work you are carrying out, if I have to come up with some mathematical modeling for that, so you'll be going with performance measures or anything else you will be looking at.
Performance measures only.
Okay, okay.
Performance measures in our area are mostly in terms of this accuracy, precision, like that. In your area, it might be in terms of error rate, right? Sampling rate.
Here also it will be like, see, for example, if I am training the model with the data to detect a particular attack, whether there is an attack or not, in that case, in my case also, it will be like I am looking at accuracy itself.
Hmm. So then it's like going for the performance measure, because that helps us to analyze where the new proposed solution stands at, as compared to the competitors in that area.
And in case if you have to come up with some optimization, what do you do?
In case of optimization, it depends on what kind of problem you are trying to solve, whether you are looking for new models or entirely you are reframing the problem at hand. So
Uh,
basically, what you could do in that case is like reformulate the problem.
okay.
What is, like, let's say you are solving some how can I explain, let's say you are solving some you're trying to detect some attack, or you're trying to identify what kind of breaches it is doing, privacy breaches. Not only you can look at the site where the authentication is being compromised, but also the areas where, not only the authentication side, but also the confidentiality and the integrity area. So like the problem still remains the same, your perspective to look at it changes that way.
Okay, so while giving the solutions, do you also consider time complexities?
Yes, yes, definitely. That's very important. Rather, there is a separate section or an analysis given in the paper, how well it is performing as compared to the previous model.
Okay, okay.
Hmm. See, in computer science, optimization will always take an upper hand for the proposed solution.
Yeah.
Accuracy, like there has to be a trade-off between the accuracy, like the performance, as well as the running time. That's why we go ahead with the design of algorithms, and new algorithm keeps coming up, right, every day.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Hello. Hmm. क्या आप इस क्या आपका नंबर इनवैलिड है क्या आपका आपके द्वारा हाँ सर्टिफिकेट में प्रॉब्लम हो गई